Well, hello, DK Diamonds. We are so excited to come to you guys tonight. We are here with your Diamond Leadership Team. Say, hey, everybody.
Hello.
And so we're super excited,
Hey.
guys. If you are watching this video, it is because you are more than likely a part of the DK Diamonds team. And so we just wanted to come to you guys and have a candid discussion on a couple of things that we know are going to make a difference in your business, okay? And so if you're in this opportunity, guys, I know how easy it is to come in the business and be nervous and kind of feel like you don't know what to do. You don't know what's the best tips to get your business up and running. You know, we already have a new distributor video available for you. So if you have not watched that, you definitely need to do so to go over the immediate tips of things that you need to be focused on in your business. But we also know that there's some additional things that we would love to give you our insight on that we know completely would make a difference in your business. And so the first thing that I want to talk to you guys about is attitude, because we know that everything starts first right here in the mind. And what you think you can, and what you think you can't, you won't, and you can't. Everything starts in the mind. And so I'm going to ask for my diamonds definitely to give us some input in on this. I know that all of us definitely have so much that we want to share with you. And so, Tam, what is something that you could say today when we talk about attitude and how important that is for new distributors coming in to this opportunity? You know, how important is it for them to have their mind in the right place and to keep themselves in a positive space? Because, you know, they're going to have disappointments, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, life is going to happen to you. As soon as you make a decision to do something that will improve your life and your family's life, your finances, there are going to be obstacles that come in your way. So you just have to make a decision that you have to decide how you choose to think, because you can't control what happens, but you can control your reaction and how you think about what's happening to you. So you're a business owner now. That's how you have to think about life. I'm a business owner. I got stuff to do. Make a decision to think like a business owner. So regardless of what gets thrown in your way, have a list of things that you want to take care of during the day and be firm on the fact that you're going to get those things done regardless of what happens. And just try to keep everything in Tupperware. That's what I tell my team. So there are going to be things that happen, unexpected things. Acknowledge that you're a little upset or disappointed about something, or you're kind of like feeling anxious about something, but just put it to the side. Put it in Tupperware, put it to the side, say, okay, I'm going to take care of that after I take care of what I need to do for my business. That would be my suggestion.
That's right. And so what Tam is talking about, guys, is compartmentalizing. That's exactly what she's talking about, is that, you know, to be successful, guys, we're all moms, we're wives, you know, we have responsibilities in the community, in the church, with our family, personal stuff, drama, work related. I mean, it's all kinds of stuff that's going to come our way. And so, guys, we have to master the art of compartmentalizing. And that's exactly what she's saying when she says put it in Tupperware. And I love that, because guys, you know what? You have the right to be upset. There are going to be times that your business is not going to go your way. There are going to be times it is going to go your way. But I do know this, that you can have the right to be upset momentarily, but you don't have the right to be upset permanently, because that is what's going to take you off course. And so I know that one of the things that has helped me definitely for sure is what I feed my mind. You know, I feel like leaders are readers, and reading and, you know, having that daily devotion time and having that time in the morning, that quiet time to get your mind right is so important. I know for me personally, the days that I don't do it, everything goes haywire in a basket, versus the days that I do it. And so I'm going to turn it over to Nicole. And Nicole, what tips would you have for that? Because I know you are huge on self-development and making sure that you make time for that in your life. What tips would you have for us?
Well, first tip is you definitely want to get your spiritual devotional done. Like, that has to be number one, because I feel like the first 15 minutes of your day is your most important 15 minutes, because that sets the tone for the entire day. So, you know, for me personally, that's my devotion time. I'm going to be reading scripture, even if I'm going from a devotional and just kind of learning from something. That's my number one time. And then I can go off in the day and do some other things. I am huge on audiobooks, because there's not a lot of time in my day, and I spend a lot of time in car rider lines picking up kids throughout the day. And so if I can be working my business from my phone and listening to a book at the same time, I'm absolutely going to do so. So I utilize my time in the car. I don't listen to the radio. A lot of times I'm just in silent, but if I can get a good book, which right now I'm doing the 10X rule, and that book is thebomb.com. Oh my gosh. So if you can find a really good book, something like that, that's going to encourage you, I would recommend doing that. Couple of my favorites. Number one is the 10X rule. I just did Steve Harvey's Jump book. That one is amazing. I did, excuse the language, You're a Badass, but it's a bomb book and it's definitely a good read. Sun Stand Still, it's a really, really good book because you want to add the audacious and the big, ginormous things that you don't think that you can do on your own, but God can absolutely do it for you. So I am a huge, huge advocate of that. So please, please feed your mind on a daily basis. And sometimes when things are not going well, if you pick up, one of those books or hit play on that audio book, I promise it turns things around to a whole nother level.
Yep. And Sun Stand Still is one of my favorite books. When you were talking about that, I immediately went to all-time favorite book, Sun Stand Still. I have reached some of my biggest goals while reading that book. I absolutely love it. And so, Kenya, I want you to touch on, just being on a schedule. Kenya is a master, guys, at sticking to a schedule. And I know that it's important that, we have to plan our time or we're just going to be all over the place. We have to tell our time where to go. Okay. Your time doesn't have to control you. You get to control your time. And so, Kenya, can you touch on the importance of, working with a planner and how that keeps you organized? How important is organization in this business?
Organization is everything. And you want to come in planning to organize yourself, not just willy-nilly figuring it out as you go along because it'll be scattered everywhere. But I love to tell people to figure out what hour you're going to give to your business right now. Many of you I know still work full-time and may not, be doing your business right now full-time, and that's okay. You can still win with this, but you've got to write stuff down. You've got to plan out. You will not remember. You will not hit every task that you thought about, the night before in the bed or in the shower before you got out of it. So you want to make sure that you are setting yourself up for success by writing it down, having a schedule, thinking about what you plan to post or who you want to speak to. Those things, when you have it written down, is going to keep you organized. A lot of times we think that we just kind of wing it. And when you wing it, it's hard to win. And so walk in to your business already setting yourself up for good habits as a business owner and thinking past being, employee minded. So when you organize, if you're going to be, taking your child to practice, what you can do during that time, it's all about figuring out where you can put pockets of time for your business. I'll use, one of Tam's word was sprinkle, sprinkle your business throughout your day. You may not have the full hour to give it, but you may have 15 minutes here, 15 minutes there. And don't overwhelm yourself thinking that you got to put 3 hours aside to work your business on Monday because you may not have it. The true trick is to sprinkle it in where you can and be intentional when you do.
That's amazing. And so, guys, one of the things I love about our team is that we have so many of us that do this business so many different ways. Some of us are full-time. Some of us are part-time. Some of us, are transitioning out of a full-time into doing this, transitioning out of a full-time job into doing It Works full-time, where it started off part-time, and some of us have been able to go from a full-time job and become full-time It Works. And so, guys, you just don't ever know what this business is going to do for you. If your plan A is going to be your plan B, or if your plan B is going to become your plan A. And I know one of the diamond leaders that we have here, Jennifer Nivens, is a master at multitasking. Jennifer works full-time. She's a new mom. She has a baby at home. She's married. She has a husband. And I'm telling you what, she does not miss a beat when it comes to her posting on social media and being present and letting people know that her store is open. And so, Jennifer, how important is that? I know that, it could be very easy for you to say, you know what, I'm at work. I got to come home. I got to go and I got to get involved in the church. And I mean, you have so many things that you're involved in. how do you squeeze that all in and plan, as Kenya said, scheduling your day, being intentional? How do you make that work and keep your presence known, that your business is open?
Well, for me, it's that whole thing of letting go of excuses, keeping what's the main thing, and what's important to me and my why. Like to piggyback on Nicole and great books to read, the compound effect. Turning your why, let it be your why power. Why you don't make excuses. Why you don't bring up why you can't do something, or just taking small steps. Which will point you into the direction of whatever your goal is. And so for me, it's making it really every extra effort that I have to sprinkle in my business, as Kenya said, into every hour that I can. And so, yes, I work a 10-hour shift. So I sometimes I don't get to bed until 2:00 in the morning, and I have to turn around and wake up at 4:30 in the morning. But I'm a no excuse type person. Like, my why power is just too big for me to say, well, I am just too busy. No, you're really not too busy. I tell myself, well, I can sleep when I retire. I can sleep when I can work this business full time. So that's really breaking it up. Every month I have my calendar set out, and I do engagements already that I have towards church and my family, and then work. Of course, I have that blocked out, and then I put in the hours that I can do at work. So whether it's 30 minutes in a day, then I block that out and do just power that out for a full 30 minutes. Or if it's an hour, or if it's 3 hours one day, then I'm making sure that I'm getting as many parties or as many Zooms, conference calls as I can within the little bit of time that I have. So the whole thing, you guys, is really getting it into your mind that you can do it, and then just making no excuses and just making it happen. Finding the time. If you have no time Monday through Thursday and all of your time is Friday and Saturday, then you do all that you can Friday and Saturday to push it out and to make it happen. So my thing is, I just keep it in front of me why I'm doing this, because I make sure that I'm not being led by my emotions. As even Tam said, with your emotions, you give up on stuff. So I don't allow my emotions to run my life. I allow retiring my mom to run my life. I allow being able to be a full-time mom to run my life. I do that rather than saying, well, everyone's telling me no, or Jennifer, you are just too busy. You already have a good job working 10 hours. Your husband has a good job. Like, you don't need. No, I block all of that out, and I say, you know what, why I can and why I will do this no matter what.
Absolutely, guys. And so if you go to our DK Diamonds page, we do have something called the It Works weekly plan sheet on there. And what it is very similar to this. This is one of my planners, and it's broken down in 30-minute increments of different things that I do in 30-minute increments of the day. Okay. And so that weekly plan sheet on our files folder on our team page is going to allow you to do that. And so what you're going to be able to do is to block off that time that you are obligated to your job, that you're obligated to your church, that you're obligated to family life. And so I know when I worked in corporate America years and years ago, I loved doing that. And I would take that calendar every Sunday night, and I would literally block out everything I had for the week. And what I would do is go within that calendar, and I would circle 30 to hour increments, as many as I could find. And that is when I would decide when I was going to work my business. Okay. And so I have a rule, and I have a saying that I say, if your business is running you, you have missed the point of being an entrepreneur. Your business should not run you. We run our business as business owners. Okay. And so in order to do that, you have to be intentional, and you have to know what time that you're going to be working your business. Now, granted, there are going to be some days, guys, that things may go south, but for the most part, 90% of your week, you should know off the top of your head. If somebody says, you know what, when can you wrap me? You shouldn't be asking your customers, hey, when can I get a wrap on you? When do you have time available? That conversation should look more as though I do wrap appointments on Sunday, on Tuesdays and Wednesday. Which of those dates would work best for you? You get to decide when you work this business. And so I think, guys, that when you do that, everybody's happy. Your home life is happy. Your marriage is happy. You're happy. You're feeling like you're not running all over the place. And that is what we never want you to feel. Although there are going to be seasons that you're going to have to push. You're going to have to push in different seasons in this business. For the most part, you should be able to know, when is my dedicated time available? for me to work my business. And Jennifer, I love what you said about, it's not that we don't have the time. We choose not to make the time half the time. And we can literally, guys, be busy doing a whole bunch of busy of nothing. You can be busy doing a whole bunch of nothingness, to be honest, if that's even a word. It's the truth. And so, guys, making sure that what you're doing is bringing you in business. And so that leads me to my next topic I want to talk about really quickly is income producing activities. Because, guys, we can find time to do all kinds of stuff, but there are only a certain amount of things that are going to grow your check. And I'm going to swing it back around to Tam really quickly, and then we're going to go to Lydia, because I want Lydia to talk about something else, because, you know, all of us have our gifts and all of us have our strengths, okay? And so I know Tam and myself are a lot alike in the sense of, we are like, look, if it is not going to build that paycheck, look, we need to be figuring out where we're going to put our time at. And so, Tam, can you share what are some tips or what are some things that they need to be doing that are going to focus on building their income, that are going to take their business to that next level?
The things that I try to focus on personally, even as a diamond, is reaching out to people every single day. Having that set amount of people that I'm either going to follow up with who had interest, people who I'm going to blitz because they liked or commented on some of my social media posts, people I'm going to try to book for wrap parties, Facebook wrap parties, and what have you. So there's a number, and we need to know what our number is, what works for us. For me, I try to hit at least 25 people a day. If I know I'm doing that, then that's a part of my income producing activities, because I'm getting closer to closing people, I'm layering people, and that's something that is going to bring business to me. It's going to bring loyals. It's going to bring distributors. I spend a little bit of time coaching my new distributors, right? So we're building our teams constantly. You don't want to just leave them hanging. They need to get some kind of direction. So I do spend a little bit of time, not a whole lot of time, because they learn when they see me working, right? So sometimes we might get sidetracked, like, oh, I got to run my reports and I got to call this one again and I got to drag somebody and no, like I spend a few minutes with my new distributors, showing them, giving them feedback. And then I spend time in my group page, letting them know, hey, I reached out to 30 people today. Hey, I booked 5 appointments today. I'm so excited, because people need to see what we're doing. Income producing activities, what that does not include is running reports all day long, trying to see who's doing what. What that does not include is trying to manage our team 24/7. What it doesn't include is being on social media, scrolling and looking and wondering, am I doing this right? Maybe I need to do it like so-and-so. What it doesn't include is spending all day on personal development either. Okay, personal development is really important, even on a daily basis, but we don't need to be doing it for hours and hours and hours. So I try to stay balanced on, let me spend my time on things that I know are going to bring money into my home, which is mainly reaching out to people and following up and trying to close deals. And of course, being on social media, posting on there as well. So that's my 2 cents on income producing activities.
Absolutely. And so, Lydia, I know that Lydia is a mom, and she's a very hands-on mom. Her kids are involved in sports, and I mean, she just has her hands in some of everything. And so I know that Lydia is a master at time management. Like, when I tell you almost every second of her day is accounted for, I'm not joking. And so, Lydia, what is a tip that you would give new distributor or seasoned distributors that just feel like they don't have the time, or how can I squeeze it in, or what should they focus on first? What is a typical day like? Not, and I know your days are different, so you don't have to go every little step, but what is your typical days like when you wake up and you get the kids on the bus, or you get the kids dropped off at school? What does Lydia come home and do for those moms that it's easy for us to come back home and get in the bed, if this is a full-time thing, or clean the house, or go to the grocery store? What does that look like?
Well, what's most important to me is just to piggyback off of what Kenya said. She's very organized, and that's a large part of predicting what your day is going to look like and knowing what your availability is. So like you said, for me, every day is different. So my day never looks the same, I would just say knowing what your day is going to look like ahead of time. So, for example, on a Monday, I may know I may have basketball practice with TJ, and I may have to take Milan to swimming practice right after school. So I get most of my stuff done during the day. I may wake up extra 4 hours in the morning. Sometimes I'll get up at 3 o'clock in the morning to see who's online, or do some follow-up messages, or, you know, do my prayer time. And then by the time I have to get the kids up at 6, I've already gotten 3 hours of work in. So I'll get the kids up, you know, I may drop them off. I may come home and the house may be a disaster, or, you know, I may have some errands to run, and I'll give myself an allotted time for that. I'll say, okay, I have 2.5 hours to clean a house and to run errands. And then I'll have an additional 2 hours to do what it is that I need to do in my business. While I'm running my errands, I'm blitzing people, you know, I'm contacting people, I'm, you know, meeting new people. One thing that I do that has been very powerful for me is I make sure to go to the same places, same locations, same times, because I'm trying to build a rapport with that cashier that I see every Sunday when I do my grocery shopping. So I'm going in and I'm speaking to her, and she's seeing me every week, and I'm making sure to go to the bank and take out cash so that she sees me paying for my groceries in cash, so that when I do transition our conversation to the point of her either becoming a loyal customer or a distributor, that she remembers that cash. Like, oh my goodness, this woman always pays in cash. You know, she's never paying with a credit card. She's not even paying with a debit card. She's paying in cash. And in that way, she'll have a full circle moment, and she'll be able to connect my business with me going grocery shopping every week and not putting anything back off of the cart. And when people behind me, or people in front of me put something back, I always tell her, I've done it countless times to the same cashier, I'll take care of their groceries. You know what? She don't have to put that back. You got it for a reason. And then I blitz that person and give them my card. And those people may translate into loyal customers, or they may even become distributors. So she's seen me, this one cashier has seen me time and time again. I mean, any opportunity that I have to do something like that, I'm not doing it to boost or to show off, but that's truly who I am. It's a passion for me, and it's showing people what this business can truly do for them. So in summation, basically, you need to predict how your day is going to be ahead of time. Some days I will work, get up very early, like at 3 o'clock, and work my business, and I may not go to sleep that night till 1 o'clock in the morning. But this business is so flexible that I'll say, you know what, on Tuesday, my husband's going to take the kids to school, and I'm going to sleep until 10 o'clock, and then I'll get my day started. And, you know, you just have to fit it in wherever you can by any means necessary, and not allow yourself the excuse to say you're too busy, because nobody's too busy to be broke. Like, we got to get this money.
That's the honest to God truth. And I love that, because, you know, and it is, and you do get to decide, because guys, you know, there are days I can say as a presidential diamond that there are days that I work and I will put in 15, 16 hours in a day. And then I may turn around the next day and work 12 hours. But then the next day I may literally take off the whole day and maybe work 30 minutes. And the next day I may work 2 hours. And then the next day I may take off again. And that next day I'm back at 12 hours or 16 hours. And so, guys, that's what I love about being an entrepreneur, is that you do get to design your days, but it's built up to that. But those who work a job and that have to go clock in, and that have to be there, and that have to fight the traffic, and that have to do that, you know, Jacinta is a full-time nurse. What are your tips for those who are trying to transition, that are saying, well, you know what, that's great for y'all that work full-time, but what about us that have a job? What would you say to them, Jacinta, how you work your business?
You have to have a schedule. You have to have, it is utterly important. I just put myself on a new schedule starting this morning, actually. And I literally took my phone and I have different times set for different things. And it will alarm me to remind me it's time to do this. It's time to, you know, get on the treadmill. It's time to wake up, do your devotion before you hit the floor. You know what I mean? It's time to check your reports, you know, before you start doing anything else. And then midday around 11 o'clock, it's time to check your posts. I set them up automatically. You know, as a person who goes to work, you know, Monday through Friday, still working a full-time job in this business, you have to have things set up in advance. You can't do it on a whim, because you'll find yourself doing things out of sequence. You'll find yourself completely just, you know, You know, on a whim doing things that's not adding up. So you want to have things lined up. You want to have it mapped out. You don't want to be willy-nilly doing things. So I have things set up on a schedule. So at 11 o'clock, it's like, okay, look at your reports again, see if anybody's enrolled in anything. You don't want to miss anything. You know, post, make sure nothing is going on. You know, and at 2:30, it's the same thing. When you go to lunch, send out another 15 messages. And then when you come home, you're catching up on messages. You're doing things of that sort. So, and also with the same thing, you're keeping a log of what you're doing, because you can't just be flying off the handle saying, okay, I can do this party, I can wrap you. You can't do that, you know, because it makes you look crazy when you have to come back and say, oh, I forgot I had this going on. I forgot I had that going on. You want to be completely business minded when you're scheduling these things. You want people to know that you're serious about your business. So you want to have it together.
That's right. And I know, Jadine, in closing on that topic of time management and balancing your time, what tips do you have? Because Jadine is a double diamond who also works a full-time job and has her entire journey in the day.
Right. It's just like everyone else said, you have to have a schedule. And you know, for me, I'm traffic about an hour and 15 minutes going to work, hour 15 minutes to an hour and a half coming home each day. So I actually utilize that time as well to actually make some phone calls, like Nicole said, listening to audiobooks, you know, getting that self-development in, because that's time that's in the car. You know, I'm trying not to text, but you know, sometimes when you're in traffic, you tend to look down, even though that's something I definitely need to. Still focusing on the income producing activities, and that can be following up with people on your hundreds list. Right. That could be, you know, so I've been doing lately is the weekly wrap drawing. And so that's an income producing activity, you know, getting those mailings out, the samples of greens, getting that ready and mailing them, you know, from work. Those are income producing activities, because those are going to get you potential loyal customers and distributors that you absolutely can follow up with. And of course, and today it was so funny, I have my decals on the side of the car. And so I was at a light, and the big yellow bus pulled up beside me, and then it scooted up some more. So, you know, you're kind of looking like, why is this bus scooting up? And then she opened the door to the bus. Of course, that caught my attention. And she was like, is that the waist trainer? And I said, no, ma'am, this is a anarchist wrap that you put on for 45 minutes, you know. And she said, let me write your number down. So she literally, we're at the light now, and she's writing my number down and this, that, and the other. And she called, I'm pretty sure she called me because I had a missed call at work at about 10:30. So of course I called her back around 4 something, and I was like, she's probably back on the bus dropping kids off. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to follow back up with her tomorrow. But you know, it's just so many things that you can do as a work person. And actually when you work, you're in contact with more people and the public every day. Yep. Yeah. So I have people at work. I have lots of loyal customers at work, just from me putting products on the desk, sharing things in the break room. You know, they're seeing me watching, drink my greens. And so, you know, passing people, you know, going to and from lunch. So there's definitely ways that you can utilize that time working full time and then still being on schedule when you get home and, you know, cooking dinner and getting the kids to where they need to be. It's all a choice. It's all a choice. And so, you know, the schedule is really, really important, and something that I'm hunkering down on more so this year in 2017.
I was waiting to hear that. I was waiting to hear, you know, how you can, you know, multitask in the car, you know, when you're picking up the kids and dropping off in the carpool line and waiting on this and waiting on that. And I know that's something we all do, because, you know, you have to account for every second of your day. So guys, we've definitely talked about time management. And I know that if you look at all of us, we're going to lean a little bit in the camera here. We're all wearing something, guys, that's very important. Y'all hold it up.
Yeah.
We all have on our It Works gear, baby. And so let's talk about that. How important is the It Works gear? Can we just do a census and say, hey, raise your hand, diamonds, if you've gotten stopped by wearing your It Works gear? Keep your hands up if you get stopped. If you go out 5 days a week in your It Works gear, if you get stopped at least 3 times of the 5 times, keep your hands up. Okay. Majority of us have our hands up for a reason, guys, because I promise you, if you go in my closet right now and it didn't come overnight, it's not like I just went and did this. I've been in the business for 2 years, but guys, I have It Works gear galore. We go crazy over our It Works gear. We love it. It's comfortable. It gets us business. And the bottom line is we get paid to wear it. So guess what?
Hello.
We don't really care about the Gucci and the Prada and the all this other stuff that, you know, is so designer that, you know, is so cool, because that's not making us money. That's making them money. And so guys, when we're out in our It Works gear and people are recognizing this emblem right here, and saying, oh my gosh, oh, you're part of the company that does the wraps. You do the wraps. You know, I've seen it on Facebook. I've seen it on Instagram. I've seen it on Twitter. I've seen it online. I've seen it here. I've seen it there. You know, guys, it opens that door up for conversation. And so, you know, that to me is part of great time management too, because guess what? You're not planning to really go out necessarily to work your business, even though you know you will, because conversation is automatically going to just come to you. And that is one of the most easiest ways to work your business. Does anybody have a lanyard close by that they can grab of the diamonds? If you do, go grab it. Jadine, hold up your mug. You know, Jadine talked about the mug at her job. You know, that's sitting on her desk. You know, they have the mugs, you know, drinking out of a clear cup, your greens. There it is. That's a lanyard. You know, people can ask, what is that? What is that? You know, the Blitz card. Does anyone have a Blitz card shrunk down on their purse that they can show? The Blitz card right there, Kenya, you know, making sure that you're prepared. There it is right there. A Blitz card that is laminated, that you have, that you could either put around your neck as a lanyard. Guys, I used to think this is so stupid. I am not wearing a lanyard around my neck until people started thinking I was in a VIP something. Like I got a backstage pass or something, and will start asking me questions about, oh, you're rapping people, or do you, you know, what is this? What is that? You know, and it opened up that conversation. And so, guys, I want to do we're going to do a separate training video for you guys on blitz and tips, what to say and follow up. So that's going to come separate, because there are some tips I do have for you for that. But what I do want to touch on top of what we're doing with this, is how important it is. We talked about devotion time. We talked about time management. We talked about feeding your mind positive things and staying in a positive space. You know, one of the things that I know I'm really big on is affirmations, and not only just reading affirmations, but having them around my house. So there are little note cards, little 3x5 index cards that are around my house in different places, that where I'm putting on my makeup, I'm getting dressed, I'm going to the refrigerator, I'm going downstairs, I'm leaving the house, whatever. I've had them on the steering wheel in my car before, where I'm constantly looking at what are my goals. They are in front of me at all times. And so, guys, how important when we look at time management, Kenya, would you say is not reinventing the wheel and using what is available already, that's already in place? Because we know that there are going to be some distributors that are going to come in with their own twist and their own flair and say, you know what, I'm going to do it this way. I know you're saying to do it that way, but I'm going to do it this way. What's your opinion on that right there?
Well, she's picking on me, y'all, because I was a hardhead with that. And, you know, you think that you know everything, or you think, I know the way I want to do this, and we're going to do it that way, because that's not me. But I promise you guys, we would not lead you astray. Sometimes we overcomplicate where it's just not necessary. And in this business, it's the simplest of business I think that you're ever going to come across. And sometimes you start overthinking it and you make up more busy work than you need to, than just showing people these awesome products and living it out loud. So I came in, I was ready to put balloons up for parties and make labels for water bottles, and we got feather boas and everything else to, you know, make this whole, you know, circus of our business. No, keep it simple, you know, and because for the first reason that you want to keep it simple, because you want people to see the simplicity so that they will want to do it too. If you overcomplicate things, that's not duplicatable. And if I'm seeing you do some huge situation, and you got to have it at a hotel, and you renting all these big rooms, or spending all this extra money that's not necessary to make money, you're pushing away potential business partners. There's somebody in that room who's going to think this is nice, this is too much, and I don't have it to do. And what's so great about It Works, y'all, is that you can literally keep it as simple as possible. Putting a few of your products on a tray table, a TV dinner tray table. You don't have to go out and rent or go get the big 6x6 foot table and have to have this whole thing set out with tablecloths and candles and goodie bags. It's too much.
Right.
And you want to keep it simple. And the simpler you keep it, the quicker your team will grow. I promise, once I got it right, it got even better.
And that's what you want, guys. You want duplication. Duplication duplicates your money. That's what I want you to get from this. Duplication absolutely duplicates your money. And in closing, guys, on this particular message, we want to talk about the power of reaching up, because everybody that you see on this screen here, and we have so many other leaders that are emerging. We have so many strong leaders in our organization, and there are a ton of us that have wonderful ideas, and we know that we are better together. There's no doubt about that. But guys, I will say this, we are diamonds for a reason. We are diamonds for a reason, guys. And so, Jennifer, how important is it, would you say, is it for them to reach up and to not feel like you're a burden when you reach up? Because I know sometimes, you have some people who want to reach out, but they don't know how to reach out, or they're afraid to reach out. What would you say to those distributors, and how impactful is it that they do reach up for support versus keeping silent or reaching to a sideline buddy or someone on their same level that is not where they're trying to get to?
Yeah, absolutely, guys. You have to realize that we don't promote unless you promote. So we want to help you. We are making ourselves available to help you and to train you and to coach you so that you're able to get to the top. And you'll soon realize the more people you help, the closer and the faster you'll reach your own goals. And so another thing, you want to copy the right cat. You want to go after the people who've already done it, those who've already reached rubies, emeralds, and diamonds. And so anytime that I'm looking for new ideas or, just new ways of helping to promote, get new team members, loyal customers, I'm reaching up to the people who've already done it, which is my upline, my recruit, Kim, or other people that we've been able to connected with people at conferences or different events. But copy the right cat. When you start talking and having different people in your ear who haven't done it, and then they start complaining and they start pulling you down, and you start doubting your own self, and if this thing even really works, no. There's this book called by Stephen Furtick called Crash the Chatterbox. You want to make sure what's in your ear, it's not talking you out of what God has already purposed in your heart, what is already possible because you've seen it done before. So again, I can't promote unless you promote. So please bother me, message me, text me, call me, email me, do what you have to do, because I want to make sure you're doing the right thing to be able to reach your goals. Because when you reach your goals and when you get paid, I get paid. Get excited about that.
And we all feel the same exact way. And so it is so important, guys, in closing, that you absolutely know that we are here to help you. We've been where you're at. We've gotten up more times. There's nothing you're going to bring to us that we have not experienced or can guide you in the right direction of where to go and how to get it fixed as quickly as possible. And so our goal is to have you bounce up as quick as you fall down, because, guys, it's inevitable that you're never going to fall. You're going to fall. You're gonna fall forward to success. But what matters is how long you stay down. And that's the difference in what's gonna take you from the bottom of this company all the way to the top. And that's the difference in what's gonna make your dreams your reality for your family. And know that you're not doing this business for us. You're doing this business for you. And so it's your family that, you got to get back up for day in and day out, and that you got to fight for. And that's all of us. We are all striving to be better, and we're all striving to become better. But guys, just know that, keeping your why in front of you and knowing that you do have the support around you. You have the support of us as Diamond leaders, And lastly, before we close out, we do weekly team meetings. We do weekly the conference calls. We do weekly Zooms individually. A lot of your diamonds do individual meetings that are available for you. You know, they coach you, they pour into you, you know, they're reaching out to you, they're offering you challenges. And so, you know, I do want to cover on a topic that is really big and it's really major. And I really need for you to move this up there with the importance of time management. And that is you being coachable. That is that when, you know, your diamond leaders and your uplines are pouring into you, and that we're taking time out of our day to give you challenges and to say, okay, let's brainstorm. Let's talk about it. Let's figure out, you know, what is the hindering block, that you are open to receive what we have to say, guys. And I'll be the first. Let me raise my hand right now. I'm the first one to say sometimes the delivery does not always come out how we want to hear it. But we are adults and we are grown-ups. And so if you look at a corporate job and you had a boss that just said, hey, this is what it is, this is what you need to do, X, Y, Z, you would have that. So, but in this business, you do. And that's the great thing. But guys, don't wear your feelings on your sleeve. Understand that when your mentors and that when your coaches are coming at you and they're talking to you and they're investing in you, that it's because they see something in you. And half the time you don't even see it in yourself. It's that we see more in you than you even see in yourself. And so guys, with that being said, definitely respect our time, because we're going to respect your time, but make sure that you're ready. When you say that you're ready to move and that you're ready to move up, I can tell you, and I'm just going to ask them to just be honest and raise your hand, guys. Have I ever said anything to any of you that you just flat out didn't want to hear, or that may have just ticked you off just a little bit? Don't be shy. It is okay. And guess what? They are successful. They are successful. They are paid as at their ranks. They're excelling. They're going to next levels. They're bringing other people with them. They're teaching other people how to do what they do, and they are transferring the skill. So guys, it is okay. And you know what? You may have a moment that someone may say something to you that, you know what? You may not like the delivery, but guess what? It's okay to be, as Christians, to go to our brother and our sister and to say that, clear the air and keep it moving. And let's get this money and let's move forward and do what we're here to do, which is to change lives. And so guys, being coachable is key. It is everything in being an entrepreneur, because you never get to the point that you know everything. And if you are the smartest person in the room, guess what? You need to get into another room. If I walk in a room and I'm the smartest person in the room, I'm looking around the room at how I can get into another room that is some people that are in a higher level than I am, to where I can pick their brain and figure out what they're doing. And so guys, we are never above that. And so thank you for your time, guys. Thank you for watching this Zoom with us. We are excited about everything that's in store for you. And we really just want to see you get your businesses off to a great start. We're going to obviously have a series of things that we're going to be talking about. So you can go back, you can watch these Zooms. You're going to be able to share these with your team members, with your new team members. So when they have things that they're facing, you know, you can go back and say, oh my gosh, they have a Zoom that talks about this or talks about that. And you're going to be able to reference them to this, as well as yourself coming back to it over and over again. And so guys, we want to thank you for your time, and definitely want you to apply the principles that we've shared with you guys today. Okay. All right, guys, we'll talk to you soon.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.